Shalom Israel, Brother Malak, back with a biblical lesson. I will dub this Speak, Teach, Preach. That is the plight. Speak, teach, preach. That is the plight. One more time. 3. It's a beautiful number. It's spiritual. Father, Son, the Ruach Hadash. Speak, teach, preach, for that is the plight. That's what this is dubbed or called. And I want to get into Ezekiel 3. Ezekiel 3, because what is the plight of all of this? What is the end goal? What is the end game? Now that the children, the chosen, the dem de la creme, the real McCoy, the real deal, the real biblical historical bloodline, Israelites, Jews have awoken within this last captivity. What is the plight? What is our plight? Well, first and foremost, the plight is to be a ambassador of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, for the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, first and foremost. So that's why we do this ministry work, because it is the glorification of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. But secondly, within that, it is the exhortation and edification of Israel, the lost 12 tribes scattered abroad. It is to bring them back to the fold. This is why Hamashiach Yahweh Shai told the apostle, I think it's Peter, do you love my sheep? And he asked Peter a couple times, and it vexed Peter in the spirit. Do you love my sheep? And Peter replied, yes, Lord. Roughly paraphrase, yes. And what did Hamashiach tell him to do? Go out there and feed the sheep. Bring my sheep to the fold. Bind in my sheep. And that is what we were set up to do in these last days. And you see the truth is spreading. Why? Because no man, no mortal, mere man can stop the power of who the world ignorantly calls God. No man, no woman, no child, no spirit, no demons, nothing can overpower the power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, the Ancient of Days. Nothing. And whenever you think there is something that can do that, you get beside yourself. And let's grab some proof of that, shall we? I think we should. Ecclesiasticus 18, 1 through 3. He that lives forever created all things in general. The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he, who governs the world with the palm of his hand, and all things, you hear that? All things obey his will, for he is the King of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane. So that's just law right there. But the plight, man, speak, teach, and preach. That is the plight of all of this. This is the whole point of why Yahweh has given us the Ruach Hadash, to break down these scrolls, these scriptures, to prophesy them, to teach them unto the children of Israel before the great and coming destruction. Because the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Hamashiach Yahushai, in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Yahushai, he's coming to eradicate this place for all the wickedness. Remember, in a couple lessons back, and really all the lessons back, this is the controversy of Zion, of Jerusalem, for what the nations have done, for what the world have done. Really the nations, it's not the world. The world is just the place where we all live upon and live within. It's the people, the souls, the nations preferably. But it is the controversy of Zion and Jerusalem. Jerusalem and Zion, the 12 tribes. We keep telling you that the world and the prophecies revolve around two people, really. The villain in this movie, which is our twin brother Esau, and then it's Jacob, which is, us. Esau and Jacob, Jacob and Esau. This is what this movie comes down to. And now, we're heading close to these remarkable times because they're going to be remarkable as far as the manifestation of the second coming is almost here. It's almost here, ladies and gentlemen. The Big Bang is almost here. The real Big Bang, besides World War III. I'm speaking of the second coming of Hamashiach Yahushai. But what were we, told to do? And I'm going to get into that within this lesson. This is the plight. This is some of the plight of this ministry, I should say. Ezekiel 3, it says, "Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that you findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause your belly to eat, fill your bowels with this roll that I give you. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness." And this roll is it's this knowledge, this wisdom, this comprehension, it's this understanding of the end times, the prophecies, what's to come, how it's going to come, and all the things that's going to take its place accordingly. That is the road. The knowledge and wisdom and understanding or overstanding of the ancient scrolls. Ezekiel 3:3, "And he said unto me, Son of man, cause your belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give you. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness." That's the sweet part of this ministry. We are the children of Israel. You so-called blacks, Haitians, Jamaicans, Negroes, which these are all bywords. You so-called Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Colombians, Cubans, etc., which are bywords. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. We are the nation of Jacob. The historic, biblical, Dandara, Dem de la Creme, the real McCoy, the real deal. We are the real people of Israel, the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, the 12 tribes. We are those people. We are the descendants. We have that blood running through us. That is who we are. That is who we always been. And that is who we always will be. Period. It says, Ezekiel 3:4, "He said unto me, Son of man, go get thee into the house of Israel. Speak my words unto them." Right, that is what we're doing. That is what we're doing when we drop these digital epistles, or when we word to mouth, or when we go out there on those highways and hedges, or when we do anything that's spiritual, within this ministry. That is what we're doing. We're going into the house of Israel. Wake up, you so-called uh, black and browns of the earth. You black and brown tribes, more specifically, of the earth. Wake up to whom you really are. You know, another great movie is The Lion King. The Lion King. You know, when Simba was out there lost with my two favorite road dogs, Jabone and hopefully I'm not butchering their names, but I think it's the Lion King, man. When he was out there with the warhog and the is that a meerkat? I think it's a meerkat, but he was out there lost in the sauce, basically. That's what that represented, and he had to come and find himself. You know, and that's what this word does. It brings you back to the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord. That is what this is about. Matter of fact, let's grab a precept. Sirach 18:19 says, "The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do the things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality." The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law. The laws, the statutes, commandments, and we know right now we're scattered within these captivities, so we can't keep the commandments or the statutes to the full measurement that we should, but even within that, we still strive to keep as many as we can, and keep the ones we can't keep. That's that blood of Hamashiach covers, and that's what Christians don't comprehend, or they can't get it. You know, because the laws, the statutes, the commandments, they're still in effect. You can't just go out and Yahweh doesn't like murder. Yahweh doesn't like adultery. Yahweh doesn't like adultery, fornication, murder, lying, coveting, indulging in wickedness and lust. He doesn't like these things. So therefore the law, statutes are still in effect. But getting back on topic, that's what this thing is, man. We were set up in this day to go out there, or the web has been a blessing. Yahweh has made this internet a blessing. So we use the internet too to push his word, to push his ministry work. But that's the plight, man. That's the plight. Let's continue to read Ezekiel 3:5. For you are not sent to a people of strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. Not too many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto you. But the house of Israel would not hearken unto you, for they would not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Behold, I have made your face strong against their faces, and their forehead strong against their foreheads. So when we out there, that's how we are. We're strong and bold as the lion of the tribe of Judah. It says, as an adamant harder than flint have I made your forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks. We don't fear nothing. We don't fear death. We know what's up there. The Bible tells you when you leave this tabernacle, when this spirit leaves this tabernacle, this earthly tabernacle, we go up there to be judged. We're then transitioned. We're then transitioned into the spirit realm. And who's up there in the spirit realm? The Father, Yahweh Shai, the angels, the elders, the rest of the spirits. So we know what comes after death, even though no one likes to die or want to die, but we know what comes after. Those that understand this knowledge, this doctrine. Verse 5, reread. It says, "For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language," right? The Gentiles, the heathen nations, "but to the house of Israel. Not too many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words you cannot understand. Surely have I sent you to them." So, right, Yahweh said, if you would have sent uh, this prophet or this apostle or this evangelist or this scholar, whatever you want to dub it, if he would have sent him to Ezekiel, he would have sent Ezekiel to one of the heathen nations, they would have got it and understood it, and they would have listened. And that's true, probably, and that is true. Hey, the truth is the truth. It says Ezekiel 3:6, "Not too many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely had I sent you to them, they would have hearkened unto you." See that? The nations would have hearkened and listened. But, oh, stiff-necked Israel, you hard-headed niggards, as the Apocrypha puts it. Niggards. You hard-headed niggards. It says, "But the house of Israel will not hearken unto you, for they will not hearken unto me." That's how we ended up in this whole place in the first place. The transatlantic slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade, all the slave trades, and to the northern kingdom of Israel, the North, the North American, which is, we can call it the North American Indian slave trade, because Christopher Columbus, they were shipping the Spaniards, they were shipping our people from out of America back over there to Europe and whatnot, and so on and so forth. So it was slavery, going both ways. And this is why these nations, they're going to have to be recompensed for that. And it's going to happen unto them, thus says the prophecies. But it says, "But the house of Israel will not hearken unto you, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Behold, I have made your face strong against their faces, and their forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be rebellious house, or a rebellious house. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thy heart, your mind, and hear with your ears, and go get you to them of the captivity." So that's the plight of this. We were predestinated according to Ephesians 1, Ephesians 2, John 17, Matthew 24:31, Matthew 24, 22, if I'm not mistaken. We were predestinated to bring the children of Israel out of captivity within this era, this generation, this time period. The elect, the prophets, the servants, the evangelists, the scholars, real biblical scholars. We are the real biblical scholars. This is our book. These are our scrolls. These are our manuscripts. Our ancestors wrote these books. It says Ezekiel 3:11. It says, "And go get thee to them of the captivity." Go, wherever they're at in captivity, and to the children of your people, the Israelites, the 12 tribes, Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, and tell them, "Thus said the Lord God," whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. And that's what we do. That is the plight of all of this ministry work. To tell you, you are the children of Israel, you have a kingdom coming. Hamashiach, Yahushua, is coming to set forth that kingdom. But before he sets forth that kingdom, he's going to destroy this wicked current kingdom. And that, the nations will serve just as the Israelites have served the nations. Everything is going to go 360 turnaround. That's the that's the end goal, the end game of it. It says, "Then the Spirit took me up, and I heard behind me a voice of a great rushing, saying, Blessed be the glory of the Lord from his place. I heard also the noise of the wings of the living creatures that touch one another, and the noise of the wheels over against them, and the noise of a great rushing." And that's pretty much it on that part. And that was, him being taken up in the spirit realm. And those were the angels. angels, man. And and I call them devils because devil means deceiver, man. Deceiver, devil deceiver. The thing is, they know the truth. That's the problem. Everybody knows the truth right about now. But these movers and shakers of this wicked society, they know the truth. They always knew the truth. They always knew who you so-called black and brown tribes were and who you descend from. But yet they lie and falsely accuse and try to trick you up and lie. Deceivers. So let's jump down to verse 17 of Ezekiel 3. It says, Son of man, I have made you a watchman unto the house of Israel. And that's what we are. That's what I am, a watchman of the house of Israel. Many of the millions of other brothers and sisters, they're watchmen and watchwomen of the house of Israel, but more preferably a watchman of the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. And that is what we do when we teach this Bible and we dwell within this ministry work. We tell Israel, you need to get back under the graces of your power, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. You need to keep the commandments to the best of your ability. You need to walk inside the spirit because it's hard and it's temptation everywhere. You know, like at outside is temptation. At your job is temptation. Everywhere you turn is temptation. So your spirit is constantly fighting the flesh. Your flesh is fighting your spirit. So we tell Israel to, fight that good fight. Come back to the Father, stay in the spirit, do these commandments, these laws, these statutes. Basically, man, it's the Israelites' plight. Their plight within itself is to follow the Lord, or more so follow Yahweh and His commandments. We are to be the representation of Yahweh upon earth unto the nations. That's really our plight. When you read this Bible and comprehend it within its entirety, that's really the plight of the Israelites. We are to be a holy, righteous nation and to be a representation of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, into the nations and to show them how to live. To be that light. And that's what we're going to be in the coming kingdom, according to Daniel 7. But within that transitioning or journey into the new kingdom, there's going to be repercussions and recompenses and, the payback, the building up of the kingdom and all of that. Because that's just how the man wrote it. That's how the man upstairs wrote it, man. But, this is the plight, man. Let's continue to read 18, Ezekiel 3:18. We're dwelling in Ezekiel 3, which is a solid chapter. It says, when I say unto the wicked, you shall surely die, and thou give him not warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. Wicked man or wicked woman or wicked child. Yahweh is no respect of persons when it comes to judgment. That's what Christians fail to realize. Oh, God is no respect of persons. Yes, all through the Bible, He only dwells and deals with Israel. But He's no respect of person when it comes to judgment. He will judge the Israelites, and He will judge the heathen. That's what they don't comprehend. It says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt not surely die, and thou give him not warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. Yet if you warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. And that's what we do. That's why we warn you. We go out there and be watchmen. We speak into, until you Israelites and tell you who you are. Come back to who you are. Do what you need to do to be in right graces of Yahweh, because man is just man. Man is mortal man. Mortal man can't save you. We're we're the Israelites, the chosen people, and none of the elders or big ox or big akwats, sisters and brothers, they can't save you. The elders, we got to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling for ourselves, and we have to do what we got to do to be worthy. So you want to be in good graces with Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, because that's the one that's going to determine what he's going to do with your soul. Are you going to be judged in that day? Are you going to be judged before that day? Are you going to be, are you going to get salvation in that day? That's the thing. It says, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, you wicked Israelites, you 2/3 of Israel, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. But you have delivered your soul, right? We delivered our soul because we warned you, we told you. So the blood is off our hands. Again, when a righteous man does turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he have not. Salat which had done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at your hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he does not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also, thou hast delivered your soul. So, we're in the business of saving souls too. That's another sidebar within this thing. Saving souls. The Israelites. And according to Amos 9, 11, and 12, I'll grab that too. That's kind of like a jump. There's going to be heathens or Gentiles that's going to be salvaged or saved as well. So, Amos 9, 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. That's basically our kingdom and borders that have been destroyed and eradicated. But Yahweh is going to raise the tabernacle of David back up. Zion, the holy city, Jerusalem, the real Israelites will go back home to their borders. That's basically what that means within that. Amos 9, 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and all of the heathen which are called by my name, said the Lord that does this. So there's heathen and Gentiles out there that are called by Yahweh's name. So he has some Gentiles that he's going to save as well for for building up the coming kingdom. According to Amos 9, 11, and 12. And we know that's future prophecy, reading on verse 14. And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, said the Lord thy God. And look at the what's the name? The title. It's called the restoration or restoration of Israel. So this is future prophecy. This is all future prophecies. So we know that there's going to be the Gentiles, heathens, that's going to be salvaged, saved to rebuild the kingdom. I mean, it's just what it is. But back to course, you know, back to the main course. This plight of ours, this teaching and preaching and dwelling in this ministry, is it's to bring the elect back to. It's to bring the elect home, man. It's all about the elect. It's to bring the elect home. Let me grab Romans. I haven't opened up the scrolls of Romans in a minute. I love this book of Romans. Amazing scroll. Amazing scroll. Romans. But what I really want is Romans 10. Romans 10, 2-3 says, "For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge." And those will be your people that's lost in these philosophies and ideologies of Babylon, these false doctrines. Salak. For they bear, Salak. For they being ignorant of God's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God. Right? Because they lost in these religions and these man-made doctrines. The Bible is only about the Israelites, laws, statutes, and commandments, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. That's what the Bible is really about. And all the nations, they have their place too. But they will be given their lands and their portions. And they will serve the Israelites, just as the Israelites serve whom the world ignorantly calls God. That's what it is. That's what the Bible is really about. It says Romans 11, 1-2. Are the Israelites not serving today? I mean, we're serving today, getting up, going to work for Esau, or getting up, going to work for these nations. We're serving today. These companies, these jobs, there's money with the faces on it. You could tell who you're serving or who you're working for. Their faces is on the money. They own the companies. They pay you peanuts. And we are the Israelites, and we're working for these nations, these heathens. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear the complaints. The Israelites had to serve and build up, and we're the Israelites. It says in Romans 11, 1-2, it says, "I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin," in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew, but Benjamin in English. And this is Paul. "I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. God has not cast away his people, which he foreknew." So there you go. That's more precepts, scrolls telling you that he never done away with the children of Israel. He never done away with us. We're still his people to this day. And I bring these scriptures out to really back up, I brought these scriptures out to back up the support of the elect and the unelect, or the unchosen. It says, God has not cast away his people which he foreknew. What ye not what the scriptures said of Elias, how he maketh intercession to God against Israel, saying. All right, verse 7 is really what I wanted of Romans 11. It says, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeks for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, God has given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And that's the thing. You know, we know when we go out there, jumping back to what I brought out earlier within this lesson, Ezekiel, being that watchman, being that son of man going out there to, wake up the children of Israel. We know that only the elect will get this gospel. That was my whole point of jumping, precepting upon precept into Romans. So you heard what Romans 10 and 1 through 2 said. You heard what Romans 11, 7 through 8 said. This thing is about the elect. It's about the chosen within the chosen nation. How about that? That's amazing. It's about the chosen within the chosen nation. Let's go with what else do I want? Scripture. Let's see. I guess we can go with since the Apocrypha is open. We can go with Second Esdras. Second Esdras. Esdras, one of my favorite prophets. Esdras, brother Esdras. Second Esdras 9:22. All glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakadash. Second Esdras 9:22. It says, let the multitude perish. Then, and that multitude is 2/3 of Israel and the rest of the nations. 2. It says, which was born in vain. So we have people that are born in vain, according to Second Esdras 9:22. And let my grape be kept. Who is his grape? His grape is that elect. And that grape, is a precept through Revelation 7 and 4, or Revelations 21:12. The 12,000 men out of each tribe of Israel. That grape cluster, that elect. Second Esdras 9:22. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. And he did that by giving us this, the spirit to break down these prophecies, these puzzles, these scrolls, the Da Vinci Code, so to speak. We were raised up in this day, in this time, in this era to do this work. You see, you hear, do you follow me? And one of my favorite movies, man. This is how I know they know, man. This is how you know the nations know, man. And we know that because the scriptures tell you, according to Psalms 83 and Judith. Is that Judith 5:17? Yes, Judith 5:17 through 21. That these nations know who we really are. They always knew who we really are. You can't tell a lie unless you know the truth. But one of my favorite movies besides The Lion King is The Matrix. I always tell y'all this within these lessons. And Neo, Keanu, however you pronounce his name, Keanu Reeves. When Neo, when he wakes up out of the water bed, and he looks and turns to his left, and he see everybody else sleeping. That's the 2/3 of Israel. And the elect is Neo. And that's basically who Neo was basically portraying anyway. He was portraying the elect, the woke. And ironically, that role was supposed to go to Will Smith. So even within that, Neo is originally a black man. How ironic is that? But I digress. Children of Israel, man, that's who we be. People hate it, people envy it, people don't like to admit it. But we are the children of Israel. That's our heritage. That's our nation. That's Jerusalem. Israel is our land. My thing is, all you have to do is look up the Russian icons. Go look up the ancient Russian icon pictures, the ancient Voronet icon pictures. The deeper you dig, the darker it gets. They're woolly haired, bronze skin, wide nose, wide lips. The way Yahweh looks and his son looks, the way he created us to look and be. That's how we look. That's how the Israelites look. I mean, now we're kind of, scattered through all the nations, so we look like the nations as well. But the original archetype, is what you see when you look at a so-called black man and black woman. That's the archetype. Well, at least that's the archetype for the Southern Kingdom, because you have the Northern Kingdom, which is the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexicans, Cubans, certain look as well, because it's different tribes with their different signatures and abilities and whatnot and ways. But I think I pretty much covered it, man. I could have jumped into Ezekiel 33, Ezekiel 36. As a matter of fact, let's try Ezekiel, because that's the plight, man. That's the plight. The plight is to teach this word, to preach this word, to be ambassadors of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. And if we got to go out like martyrs, so be it. Because I'm not taking no potato chip. I'm not taking no potato chip. I'm not taking no potato chip. Put my head on the guillotine. If I got to be a martyr for this truth, for this knowledge, then so be it. That's a good, quick transition into immortality, man. The treasure of immortality. And that's just what's going to happen. And that's what this devil is about to bring on everybody. Not just the chosen nation, not just the Israelites, but he's going to bring this beast system on everybody, on the heathens as well. Everybody is going to be, that's the hour of great temptation. That hour of temptation is going to be bestowed upon the heathens and the Israelites. But Ezekiel 33, let's grab something out of there. Ezekiel 33. But we know Yahweh is going to protect his elect. And this is why we do this work, to get that protection, those hedge of angels and protection, and hopefully that power that Yahweh Shah spoke of. Ezekiel 33, I'll end it off after a couple verses. It says, Son of man, speak to the children of your people, and say it to them, when I bring the sword upon the land. And that's what's ultimately about to happen to America, the sword. World War III, civil unrest, civil war, pestilence, shortages. That's that sword from Yahweh. Even if these fake elitists are doing this, Yahweh controls all spirits. So ultimately, even when they think they're doing or running the chess game, They're not. It's God that's running the chess game. Son of man, speak to the children of your people and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he sees the sword come up upon the land, he blow not the trumpet and warn the people, and that's what we doing. We warning you. We're doing the total opposite. We're not just getting this wisdom and knowledge and not warning you, not blowing the trumpet. The elders have been blowing the trumpet since the 60s, and coming to find out, they've been doing it since we came off the cargo slave ships. The tribe of Israel, the tribe of Judah, Benjamin and Levi. It says, if when he sees the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. Then whosoever hears the sound of the trumpet and takes not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. And what is that trumpet? The trumpet is the sound. What is the sound of that trumpet? The sound of that trumpet is this word telling you, Israelites, who you are and what you must do to reap salvation before the sword fully comes down. It says, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, verse 5 of Ezekiel 33. His blood shall be upon him, but he that takes warning shall deliver his soul. And that's what we want you to do. Ultimately, this work is about saving souls. This is the business of saving souls. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him, but he that take warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So it's a big responsibility that we have this knowledge and wisdom. That's why we do what we do. That's our plight. You heard what that verse just said. But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, what is the sound of the trumpet? This word, this gospel, this ministry work, that you Israelites are the 12 tribes of Israel, that you are the chosen people. You have always been. That's who our people have always been and always will be. That we have a kingdom coming. Hamashiach Yahushua is a so-called black man, Negroid man from the tribe of Judah. The Father also is a Negroid-looking black man, according to scrolls and scripture. All nations will serve in the kingdom of heaven, just as the Israelites are serving right now in this kingdom, just as the Israelites have served in all the rest of the kingdoms and have built up the other nations, my ancestors. So, that's the gospel, and that we must keep the commandments, the covenants to the best of our ability, that we must fight the flesh to the best of our ability, that you have to be as the blueprint is Hamashiach Yahushua. That's the blueprint. That's the blueprint. It says, but if the watchmen see the sword come, and that sword is, let's just call it what it is. That sword is not only God, Yahweh's indignation and judgment, but people have to realize he uses people. He uses nations to carry out things. So who is the villain nation within this movie, or within the, who is the opponent? It's Esau, Edom, man. It's not your regular 6 Joe 3-pack Newport smoking, mountain bike riding, going out to go cliff hang and cliff climb Edomites. They just as lost as you Israelites. It's the movers and shakers, the 1%, these elitists, these false devils, these liars, these people that sacrifice into devils and drink baby's blood, and it's the wicked. Yahweh is going to use them to bring the sword, and that's going to be, this mark of the beast, this potato chip, this hour of temptation, these FEMA camps, these Rex 84 plans, everything they got in store, man. That's that sword that Yahweh ultimately created and is going to bring down upon the wicked. says, but if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away his own iniquity, rightfully so. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So thou, O son of man, I have set you a watchman into the house of Israel. Therefore you shall hear the word at my mouth, which is the wisdom that we have got, and warn them from me, or from me, right? And let's get that. Let's end it off with that. I didn't want to be too long-winded with this lesson, but the spirit gets what the spirit wants. Let's go with Psalms 17. Scrolls, the Bible, the Da Vinci Code, the Matrix, the green digits that go down on the black screen of the Matrix. That's what the Bible is. You know, it's this never-ending book that's always revealing and unraveling. And everything is just taking its course. Psalms 18, the scrolls, the ancient scrolls. Just realize this book has been here longer than any human that's on earth right now. Think about that. This book has been here longer than anybody that's on earth right now. And we were set up to comprehend it and understand it. How about that? How about that? Psalm 17:13, just to back up what I said as far as the wicked goes, that Yahweh uses the opponents. We'll go with something different. Yahweh uses the heroes and he uses the villains. He uses the left hand and the right hand. He controls everything. He created everything, so why shouldn't he not control everything? Psalm 17:13, it says, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is your sword. Again, Psalm 17:13, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is your sword. The wicked is God's sword. God created the wicked. Now more precepts and more scriptures are jumping in my head. Let's go to Proverbs 16:4. You know, this thing is amazing within itself. But, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Proverbs 16:4. It says, the Lord have made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. This is what Christians can't understand. This is top echelon knowledge. This is top tier knowledge that these people can't comprehend. They can't get it. The Lord have made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. Two precepts just told you that Yahweh created evil, and evil has its purpose. And this is what we were set up to do, to warn you Israelites from the sword, which is the wicked, because the sword has its purpose. The belt, the rod, the switch, they have their purpose. The wicked is that. And these are the, there's only 3 prophecies left, man. It's the potato chip mark of the beast. It's World War III. And it's Yahushua HaMashiach coming to restore Israel, to save the day. These are the last 3 big prophecies. So, hey man, say man. Hey man, say man. With that, I'm going to say Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakak Chadash. All glory to Yahweh.